Chelsea hand Cobham trial to Wonder Kids striker with 45 goals in 39 games. Many Chelsea fans are actually more excited about what the future holds for the club as opposed to the present situation. Despite the Blues currently sitting in the Champions League places, Enzo Maresca has a job on his hands to secure a top 5 finish and allow them to sign the top targets they have. No matter where they finish, though, the club are safe in the knowledge that they will be adding Estevao Willian to their squad, with the Brazilian showing plenty of promise in the early stages of his career. The Blues will also be bringing in Kendry Paez after agreeing a deal to sign him before he turned 18. However, the latest prediction from Fabrizio Romano is that Paez will leave on loan next season. As Chelsea continue to look towards the future, they are continuing to offer trials to some of the most promising youngsters in the game in order to try and capture their services before any other top sides get their hand on him. The latest name to be added to that list is Abel Cedergren, a 15-year-old striker. According to the Secret Scout, the Norwegian has just concluded a week's trial at Cobham, however, will not be able to sign for the club until he turns 18. Despite needing to sign players who strengthen the first-team squad, it seems there is still an appetite to strengthen their hand for the future as well. Who is Abel Cedergren? Playing at striker and right winger in his youth career, Cedergren certainly has an eye for goal that would be appealing for the Blues. According to the Secret Scout, the youngster scored 45 goals in 39 matches last season, with him currently playing for Stabæk 2. The attacker has made appearances for his national team at both under-15 and under-16 level, with him clearly having a very promising future. It remains to be seen if the Blues look to continue the teenager's time at the club, or if he did not impress to the required level at his trial. Chelsea could end up making quite a bit of money from one of their players who is currently on the periphery. Enzo Maresca had a very large squad last summer, so a whole host of names had to depart Stamford Bridge on loan. The above includes the likes of George Petrovic, Andriy Santos, and Raheem Sterling. Chelsea also loaned out players in January, such as Renato Veiga. While someone like Andriy Santos is expected to stay at Chelsea, for example, Petrovic, Sterling, and Veiga could all depart. The above includes the likes of George Petrovic, Andriy Santos, and Raheem Sterling. Chelsea also loaned out players in January, such as Renato Veiga. While someone like Andriy Santos is expected to stay at Chelsea, for example, Petrovic, Sterling, and Veiga could all depart. Bayer Leverkusen interested in George Petrovic. Veiga could leave Chelsea for £30 million this summer, while Bayer Leverkusen could make a good offer for Petrovic. Xabi Alonso may not be at the club next season, but it looks like the Bundesliga outfits still want to be ambitious. According to Kicker, they are prepared to spend a lot of money on Petrovic and have made him their main goalkeeper target going into the summer. Petrovic is one of the top goalkeepers in Europe right now, but Chelsea have a lot of shot stoppers on their books at present. It is why they were able to allow Petrovic to join Strasbourg on loan last summer. However, Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen, who are Maresca's current first and second choice goalkeepers, have not impressed this season, so Petrovic could yet be handed a lifeline. If not, then a move to Leverkusen could be a possibility, which would not be a bad transfer. After all, Alonso's side won the Bundesliga title last term and are still in possession of it for the time being. George Petrovic's save percentage this season. Petrovic really has been one of the best performing goalkeepers in European football this term, and the numbers back it up. For example, the 25-year-old has a 80.1% save percentage in League One, which is the second highest in the division. All in all, Petrovic should probably be Chelsea's two next season bare minimum, but the Serbian will feel that he is good enough to be one after a successful campaign at Strasbourg. Signing young players who could blossom into superstars in the future has been a cornerstone of Chelsea's project. However, to land one wonder kid who is currently on their radar, Chelsea are going to have to pay an enormous fee. Estevao Willian, Kendry Paez, and Dario Esugo will definitely be joining the Blues this summer, so the club do not have to worry about that trio at least. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, though, expects Paez to leave Chelsea on loan for the 2025-26 season. Strasbourg want a lone Chelsea player with 20 appearances under Enzo Maresca to replace potential Blues starter next season. Chelsea have certainly made the most of having a sister club in Europe this season, with Strasbourg the home of several Chelsea loanees. The highlight name is clearly Andrés Santos, who is expected to be available to Enzo Maresca as a first-team player as soon as next season. There was plenty of excitement when the Blues confirmed the signing of Santos originally. However, he has spent most of his time as a Chelsea player on loan, with an unsuccessful spell at Nottingham Forest followed by 2 stints at the League One side. His performances have drastically improved as time has gone on, and French media have fallen in love with Santos following his performances for a side seriously threatening to shake up the norm for top sides in France. Strasbourg want Chelsea's Filip Jorgensen to replace Georgi Petrovic. As well as the midfielder, goalkeeper Georgi Petrovic has impressed greatly since it was determined over the summer that he was not the ideal candidate to be between the sticks for Chelsea this season. However, a fantastic campaign has seen him back under consideration at Stamford Bridge, with Chelsea set for a review of their goalkeeping options. It appears Strasbourg are ready for this and preparing to replace him with another Chelsea player. According to L'Equipe, the French side have lined up Filip Jorgensen as their next loanee from the Blues. This is assuming the two sides are not playing in the same European competition next season, where there will be complications over how much control Chelsea can have over Strasbourg. Filip Jorgensen booed by Chelsea fans. The Dane has made 20 appearances across all competitions in his first season at the club, however has been unable to nail down the number 1 shirt ahead of Robert Sanchez. His most recent outing saw Jorgensen heavily booed by Chelsea fans for his patient build-up play. However, he will argue he is following very clear instructions from Enzo Maresca, with Mike Penders another option for both Chelsea and Strasbourg going forwards. There is a real risk Jorgensen gets lost in the shuffle when it comes to goalkeepers at Stamford Bridge.